Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. Today we are going to discuss about Hindu radicalization that is not addressed in India. Content for this video I given in the description. You can go through and study. Since September 11, 2001, the world's attention has properly been focused on the violence of Islamic extremism, but there are also major violent trends in Hindu extremism that have largely been ignored. In India, this violence is supported by Hindu extremists and their allies in the Indian government, which is currently led by Bharatiya Janata Party. One reason for our lack of attention here is that India is not a religious reactionary state like Saudi Arabia or Iran. Vidya Bharati, the educational wing of RSS, announced the plan to open its own RSS military school in Bulandshahr, Uttar Pradesh in July 2019. This move invited strong criticism from liberal Indians who accused RSS of creating a formal military school where fanatic Hindus would be trained in the art of lynching the minorities. Violent attacks against Christian and Muslims attacks were not inchoate mobs violence triggered by real or rumored insult. Rather, they involved a careful planning by organized Hindu extremists with an explicit program and a developed religious national ideology. Like the ideology of Al-Qaeda and other radical Islamists, this ideology began to take shape in the 1920 as a response to European colonialism. It rejected the usual secular outlook of other independence movements. In place of secularism, it synthesized a reactionary form of religion with elements of European millennium political thought, especially fascism. On March 25, 1939, the Hindu Nationalist Mahasabha Party, an RSS ally, likewise proclaimed Germany's solemn idea of the revival of the Aryan culture, the glorification of the swastika, her patronage of Vedic learning, and the ardent championship of Indo-German civilization are welcomed by the religious and sensible Hindus of India with jubilant hope. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad was formed in 1964 to unite Hindu groups and serve as the RSS bridge to sympathetic religious leaders. It has sought to radicalize Hindus by claiming that Hindus are under threat from an exploding Muslim population and a spat of Christian conversion, and it's organized the 92 nationwide demonstration that culminate in the destruction of the Ayodhya mosque by Hindu mobs. When the smaller Hindu radical groups when they indulge in activities that can potentially harm communal harmony are let off the hook with mere warning and statement distancing the BJP from such action, they perceive it as tacit support. That is, if the BJP does not support it, it does not undertake strong measure to oppose such behavior, either interpreting it as encouragement to continue their activities. Modi continued to distance himself from his ties to the RSS and other radical Hindu groups in his public speeches, but the BJP policies and leadership selection demonstrate that the party refused to uphold secular values. Modi also published books during the campaign highlighting the lives and contribution of the RSS members. The BJP appoints school officials who alter textbooks and curricula to emphasize Hinduism. They also require that Hindu text be taught in all schools. Moreover, it has appointed Sangh Parivar adherents to keep up position in autonomous bodies such as the Prasar Bharati, which controls the official media, the National Film Development Corporation, the Indian Council of Historical Research, and the National Book Trust. The Central Board of Secondary Education, that is CBSE, to remove selected topics related to history and social science from textbooks used in grade 6 to 12. Under the CBSE plan, the textbook would not include material covering non-Hindu governments, rulers or persons such as the Muslim Mughal codes or instances of violence against non-Hindus such as the Gujarat riot in 2002. The revised textbooks would include verses from Hindu religious texts. In our textbooks, an overweightage is given to the Hindu mythological, cultural and historical features. Indian External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj called to make the Bhagavad Gita, a Hindu religious manuscript, a national scripture, was an unnecessary move that deliberately brought religion into politics. Hindu radicalization is brimming at its seams, but many among the community refuse to acknowledge this growing phenomenon under the BJP rule. The hallmark of the Modi government is the radicalization of the Hindu community and the victimization of Muslim in India. The Hindu society refuses to acknowledge that the victimization of Muslim is taking place due to the radicalization of the Hindus. There is no social or institutional opposition to this blatant disregard of the constructional values that is taking place in the country. There is a definite conspiracy of silence among the Hindu community towards the growing radicalization within their fold. The state, the judiciary and the media are all working in tandem to perpetrate Hindu radicalization. Even the political oppositions do not resist the Hindu radicalization going on under BJP rule. They fear the ruling government and try to soft pedal this phenomenon as if it's normal discourse. To say that every Hindu in India is radicalized will be misnomer. Indeed, the majority are not. The Hindu society is very complex, and even if the BJP may be able to consolidate many Hindu caste groups and divisions, it certainly cannot lord over the entire Sanatana Dharma. This is not to deny that the fact that those who defend Hindu bigotry in response to Islamophobia are on the rise in India. They have hijacked the public discourse and are enjoying the time of fame under Modi rule. Hindus see this radicalization as a normal phenomenon and refuse their voices against the open bigotry. Many believe Hindus cannot be radicalized. It is true, modern Hinduism is not violent, but Hindu political nationalization, defined as Hindutva, is a violent ideology. It is not Hinduism. It is akin to Buddhism and political Buddhism, like the one we witness in Myanmar or Sri Lanka. When extremism can flourish within Buddhism, it should not surprise anyone to see that young vulnerable Hindu adults could also be radicalized. The Hindu community fails to recognize that majoritarian communalism is against the spirit of Indian Constitution. Nehru had once said that communalism of majority is more dangerous than communalism of minority. Police officers flagged the role of Islamist and Hindutva organization in connection with growing radicalization in the country during the recent conference on Director General and Inspector General of Police, which was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah. The role of such organization were flagged in papers submitted by officers at the conference that was held from January 20 and 22, 2023 in Delhi. All the papers submitted were posted on the conference website but removed Wednesday. A senior IPS officer from Manipur, a BJP-ruled state, in his paper highlighted that India, though being a plural society, is inching towards majoritarianism. He named the Bajrang Dal and Visva Hindu Parishad while writing about right-wing radicalization. Despite such pertinent issues being raised and real-time legislative and polity solution being offered by the police heads, these reports were removed from the websites and not made available to public access for too long. The reason behind such a move is questionable and against the interest of the public at large, who have every right to know the opinion and points of view of the police heads who are responsible for maintaining law and order regarding what they view as major issues in maintaining harmony and lawful behavior in their jurisdiction. As the rule of law collapses in India, the whims of Hindu extremists become de facto state policy. If murder and terror accused are being treated as heroes in society, then how we consider the society as civilized? Right-wing leaders in India want to spread hatred against Muslims because it helps them to gain popularity, and society by and large wants to elect hatemongers because they want to teach a lesson to Muslims. In the present political landscape of India, the onus of reforming Hindu society is on the shoulders of well-meaning Hindus who want to defeat this fascism. India needs a social reformer from the majority Hindu community who can de-radicalize the Hindu society. Bible talks about not radicalization, not addressing the radicalization of Hindutvists in India. In Psalms chapter 64 verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They talk about secretly laying snares. They say, who will see them?